That's right.
Hollie, the Prime Minister is double dissolution because he may not get what he wants when it comes to the housing funds. But of course, that's because the economy's going amazing. No one's got a problem with him. Literally tonight, the former a hero of the union movement and the CEOs are telling him there's a problem. It's more expensive than even before the pandemic to build a house, let alone all of the other issues that mean that currently 53% of people think the Prime Minister's doing a poor or very poor job, and 57% of people can't name a single thing that's made their life better. But no, bring on a double D.
It's just ludicrous, because if you actually sit down and do the math of what's required for a double dissolution, and that's the second defeat of a bill after 3 months and then 6 months before the next election's due, he would actually have to recall Parliament in order to put a bill he would know would fail in order to generate the trigger for a double dissolution. It is just insanity on steroids. It is an absolute rabble in the Senate this week. They've turned up for a Senate-only sitting week, put up their build to own or helping build, whatever it's called. It's just the most pathetic bill that no one in the chamber is supporting, like no one except Labor. And they are behaving like petulant children. It's now 2 days into a 4-day sitting week, and we haven't even got to a committee stage of this bill. It's just going nowhere, and nowhere incredibly fast. And, this is a government unravelling day by day.
Joe, again, the Prime Minister, or no doubt the people around him, may go, oh, well, he was sort of talked into it by the press conference and all the rest of it here. But there seems to be, look, there is an obvious impasse here where the Greens want it to fail because they want to go on the renter question, particularly in southeast Queensland. The Libs want it to fail because they disagree with the sheer size, the cost of the policy, let alone anything else. So, I mean, does he actually think that anyone sitting around a barbecue is going to be convinced by his plight as a reason for us to go to have an election?
Oh, he's not going to go to a double D. And there's no way he would. There's no reason he would. Tactically or logistically, Hollie's quite right. It would be all but impossible. He wants to go to an election, I am sure, and I'm not repeating anything he's told me, but I have no doubt I've said this all along.
He wants to go full term.
It is clear as the nose on your face that the best chance of Labor getting re-elected with a majority is giving the Reserve Bank as much time as possible to start cutting interest rates so that people think that the future is going to get better. They forget the lean years of the past, and Albanese can say at the end of all this, see, I did it, I've gone full term, I haven't done it. People don't like early elections in Australia generally. They almost always backfire. Bob Hawke in 1984 was a pretty good example. And there have been
Malcolm
plenty
Turnbull,
since.
2016.
Exactly right. So he goes full term. He says, I've always said I was going to go full term. I've done that. The RBA is almost certainly going to cut interest rates, touch wood, in the first half of next year. So he goes in April, May. And away you go. I think he's simply keeping everyone on their toes, and I think he's been doing this quite effectively all year. You've had people making all sorts of predictions. We're meant to be in the middle of an election campaign now, if not already having gone to the polls, according to some predictions. And so he's got everyone sort of up in a lather, whilst he's still just quietly plodding a long game.